Hello and welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for the day. Thunderstorms expected in parts of Oman. Royal Opera House Muscat lights up on World Malaria Day. Families of deceased soldiers in the Sultan's armed forces honoured. Sri Lankan Prime Minister rejects calls for resignation, says I will go if I lose parliamentary majority. US Vice President Kamala Harris tests COVID-19 positive with no symptoms. Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn to align in a straight line this week after 1,000 years. Real Madrid beat Maccabi Tel Aviv to reach EuroLeague Final Four. Under 25 Parasailing World Championship set to debut in Dutch waters this summer. Those were the headlines. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with the COVID-19 updates and the local stories for the day. Stay tuned.
The advancement of the Fourth Industrial Revolution has given rise to a digital economy where humans and machines collaborate to leap ahead on innovation and profitability through the use of artificial intelligence. Nebula AI helps the logistics industry to reduce shrinkage, improve forecasting, automate warehouse logistics through smart warehousing, pallet packaging detection analysis, shelf stock reconciliation, route optimization for distributions, and last mile delivery solutions. AI is changing all the rules of how companies operate. Let us help you get there.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Looking for that ease of living in this beautiful country? Watch our weekly show Tea Talk every Wednesday at 8 p.m. where we'll be discussing latest news, updates, and what's buzzing on the social media.
Welcome back now for the COVID-19 updates for the day. 0 new COVID-19 related deaths have been registered in the Sultanate. The total number of deaths remain at 4,258. Meanwhile, 14 new cases of coronavirus were registered, which brings the total number of positive COVID-19 cases in the Sultanate to 389,113. The ministry added that 23 patients have recovered, bringing the total number of recoveries to 384,215. And now for the local stories. The Al Hajar Mountains and adjacent areas may witness thunderstorms with hail on Wednesday. Oman Meteorology said the following in a statement. Cumulative clouds continue accumulating with scattered thunder showers accompanied by active winds and hail on the Al Hajar Mountains and adjacent areas, with chances of rain clouds extending towards the coast of the Sea of Oman. Oman Meteorology warned of the possibility of flying objects and low horizontal visibility during thunderstorms. Royal Opera House Muscat has been adorned with orange and red lighting on the occasion of World Malaria Day. The Ministry of Health said the following in a statement. The Sultanate is joining the countries of the world to celebrate World Malaria Day, and to mark this occasion, the Royal Opera House Muscat is lit up in orange and red. A number of families of the deceased soldiers in the Sultan's armed forces have been honoured on the occasion of Eid al-Fitr. Within the framework of the attention and social care given by the Sultan's armed forces to its members, the Chief of Staff of the Sultan's armed forces, represented by the Military Social Services, honoured a number of families of the deceased soldiers from the Ministry of Defence and the Sultan's armed forces, the Ministry of Defence said in a statement. This honour, which was held at the Military Social Services headquarters in Marbella camp, comes as an affirmation of the continuous care and attention that the Sultan's armed forces has for its members. With that, we'll take a short break and we'll be back with the international and sports stories. Stay tuned.
The advancement of the Fourth Industrial Revolution has given rise to a digital economy where humans and machines collaborate to leap ahead on innovation and profitability through the use of artificial intelligence. Nebula AI helps the logistics industry to reduce shrinkage, improve forecasting, and automate warehouse logistics through smart warehousing, pallet and packaging detection and analysis, shelf stock reconciliation, route optimization for distributions, and last-mile delivery solutions. AI is changing all the rules of how companies operate. Let us help you get there.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
We at TTV are coming up with a new show. In which we'll be discussing about retail, hospitality, aviation, education, and various other sectors so that you keep abreast of all the latest updates in the country. So let's talk every Monday at 8 p.m.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the international stories. Amid nationwide protests and growing calls for his resignation, Sri Lankan Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has said that he will step down if he loses the majority in the parliament. Sri Lanka has been gripped by an economic crisis with foreign debt estimated at $51 billion. The country appears to be on the edge of a humanitarian crisis, according to the United Nations Development Programme, as its financial troubles grow with rising food prices and the country's coffers have run dry. In an interview, Rajapaksa said Go Home Rajapaksa campaigns are being run by only a certain section of the population, but it is not practical. Over reports of a rift between him and President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Sri Lankan Prime Minister said they both were on the same page to resolve the ongoing crisis as soon as possible. Gotabaya Rajapaksa is the president, so I must always respect him as the president. He may be my younger brother, but that is a different matter. That is a personal relationship. Like everyone else, we also argue. Even in the cabinet, we argue. But our arguments stop there, he said. Speaking on the nationwide demonstrations calling for his ouster, Rajapaksa said the opinion of the protesters was respected, but it was only a certain section of the population who were asking the government to resign. Mahinda Rajapaksa explained that his government came to power after the popular mandate. Just because certain people want us to go does not mean we will go. If people want to change us, they can do it through an election. Claiming that his voters were still with him, Sri Lankan Prime Minister exuded confidence in winning in the next election. US Vice President Kamala Harris has tested positive for COVID-19 with no symptoms and has isolated herself, as per a White House statement on Tuesday. According to the release, Vice President Harris will continue to discharge her duties from her residence and will return once she tests negative. Today, Vice President Harris tested positive for COVID-19 on rapid and PCR tests. She has exhibited no symptoms and will isolate and continue to work from the Vice President's residence. She has not been in close contact with the President or First Lady due to their respective recent travel schedules. She will follow CDC guidelines and the advice of her physicians. The Vice President will return to the White House when she tests negative, said the White House press release. After 1,000 years, a rare and unique astronomical event will take place during the last week of April, when 4 planets, including Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn, will align in a straight line in the eastern sky for around 1 hour before the sunrise, said Shubhendu Patanaik, Deputy Director, Patani Samanti Planetarium, Bhubaneswar. Shubhendu Patnaik said during the last week of April 2022, a rare and unique planet alignment will occur, which is popularly known as Planet Parade. Although there is no scientific definition for Planet Parade, it is being widely used in astronomy to denote an event that takes place when planets of the solar system line up in a row in the same area of the sky. Patnaik further explained the three most common types of Planet Parade. He said when planets line up on one side of the sun as seen up above the plane of our solar system is termed as the first kind of Planet Parade. The alignment of three planets on one side of the sun is very common and can be seen for many days in a year. Similarly, the alignment of 4 planets occurs once a year, while that of 5 planets occurs once in every 19 years. The alignment of all 8 planets occur once in about 170 years. He said the third type of Planet Parade is on rare occasions where there are favorable conditions for observation of all or some of the planets. During the last week of April 2022, a rare and unique Planet Parade will take place when Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn will line up in the eastern sky around 1 hour before sunrise. This will be a planet parade of the third kind as described above. The last such parade of these planets occurred in 947 AD, around 1000 years ago, Patnaik said. 1 hour before sunrise on April 26th and 27th, the moon along with 4 planets will be visible within 30 degrees from the eastern horizon in a near perfect straight line. If the conditions are right, one can see Jupiter, Venus, Mars and Saturn in a line without the need for binoculars or telescopes. On April 30th, the brightest planets, Venus and Jupiter, can be seen very close together. Venus will be 0.2 degrees south of Jupiter, he added. And now for the sports stories. Real Madrid on Tuesday evening completed a 3-0 sweep in the EuroLeague best-of-5 playoff series after an 87-76 away win over Israeli champions Maccabi Tel Aviv and qualified for the Final Four tournament to be held on May 19th and 21st in Belgrade. In front of 11,000 fans at the Menorah Miftachim Arena in Tel Aviv, the visitors dominated the first minutes, mainly thanks to a contribution from Walter Tavares. However, points by Maccabi's Scotty Wilbekin kept a close result at the end of the first quarter, 25-22 in favor of Real. Sergio Llull and Gershon Yabusele inspired Real to take a 48-34 lead in the 18th minute on the way to 51-41 at halftime. Llull scored 18 points for Real while Yabusele recorded 16 points and 8 rebounds. Wilbekin scored a game-high 22 points. His teammate James Nanale added 17. World Sailing has announced that the first Under-25 Parasailing World Championship will be held in the Netherlands this summer. The sailing's world governing body said that the creation of the event will be part of its commitment to increasing participation and inclusivity throughout the sport. The championship will take place on the waters of Brassemermeer, halfway between The Hague and Amsterdam, the Netherlands, from July 19 to 22. It said that 15 nations and a fleet of up to 30 parasailers are expected, with mixed male-female crews under the age of 25 will race for 4 days. World Sailing, along with national sailing federations, class associations and sailors across the globe, are campaigning to see sailing reinstated for Los Angeles 2028 Paralympic Games. Those are all the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.